So welcome everybody. Now you're going to get muted by one of the Zoom masters. So hope everybody at the end of. Oops, no, I just got muted too. There we go. I hope everyone's doing okay at the end of a full non-holiday week, except for the exception of Rosh Chodesh. So Chodesh Tov, everybody. It's really nice again to just to see everybody's faces and to welcome you to Kabbalat Shabbat. So a couple things going on this week to make a note of. It's all in the synagogue's email, and as you figured out, the password for getting onto the Zoom things changed for this week, and it might change in future weeks, so you should always pay close attention. But tomorrow morning, there's going to be a Yiddish Winkel. Yiddish is back, and it's on Zoom, or should I say, Zoom. It's going to be at 10 o'clock. At 11 o'clock is Jonathan Korman's bar mitzvah, or beit mitzvah, as we've been calling them. And everybody is welcome. It's lovely when people who are not family members of the Kormans who come on. The families from all over the world. There's going to be people from South America, a little bit in Spanish. And they love people. The families always say that they love when they see shul people there, the people who would have been there in the sanctuary. So if you can come tomorrow morning at 11. On Monday night, we're going to have an evening minyan, special time at 7:10. And it's going to be followed by an evening service. It's going to be followed by a Yom HaZikaron, a community commemoration in memory of Israel's fallen. That's going to be at 7:30. And then 8:30, there's going to be another meeting of the medical professionals. Those meetings have been incredible. It's a chance for doctors and nurses and pharmacists and techs and researchers, all kinds of people who are really on the front lines battling the coronavirus, to talk a little bit about their experiences. So if you have a kid who's an intern, a kid who's a resident, somebody like that, like those people I think really need to talk. And so please tell them about this group, and you just send an email and you get in. On Tuesday, you get to hear a little day music with Sheila Reinhold, classical music, like basically a private performance in your living room. At night, the 20s to 40s group is going to be doing Zoom trivia night. That's at 9 o'clock. On Tuesday, also at 6:30 p.m., there's going to be a program for teens and tweens. Any kid in the synagogue is welcome to come to this. And it's going to be The Amazing Race Israel, a fast-paced group game exploring sites in Israel. Prizes for the winners. No prior knowledge of Israel or valid passport is needed. And on Wednesday, we're going to celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut. There's going to be a 2 p.m. celebration online. It's going to be a worldwide celebration we're going to be taking part of. 2 notes. On the email at the very bottom was a community emergency resource guide. It's a guide that we put together as part of our community response to coronavirus, and it is every city office, state office, where you can get help with different things. So it's a really wonderful resource. And finally, if you have not done so yet, send in your response to the poem that we're collecting. Right, we just want one sentence about what have you been doing, what's your time been like. And we're going to turn it all into a poem. And so now I am going to turn things over to Cantor Stevens.
So I'm going to share a song from Hallel this morning, this afternoon. So used to Hallel being in the morning. The text is, be at ease once again, my soul. Adonai has dealt kindly with you. God has delivered me from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. Shuvi nafshi limnuchaychi ki Adonai gamal alaychi gamal alaychi Shuvi nafshi limnuchaychi ki Adonai gamal alaychi gamal alaychi Ki chilatzta nafshi mimavet et eini midima et ragli midechek את רגלי מידך.
Thank you, Cantor Stevens, for that beautiful piece of music. So I am privileged to share some words of Torah with you today. And I want to talk about that the book of Leviticus, like it has for many of us, has never felt more relevant to me than it does right now. This week's Parsha deals with many forms of skin disease and the 3 steps of dealing with it that very much parallel our current situation. How to diagnose people with the disease, how to treat them, including quarantine, and how to welcome the person back into the camp. So step 1, examination. The priest must examine the person's skin. If it doesn't appear to be healing, then the priest shall isolate hanega, which in Hebrew means the affliction, for 7 days. And what's interesting to note here is that the object of the verb is no longer the person, but the disease itself. The Torah, I think, is warning us that the Kohen in this situation is no longer seeing the person, but just the disease. And it's very easy for us to do that as well, for people to become only diagnoses or to become just numbers. Every one of the 422 people who died yesterday in New York was a person with a name and a family and many people who loved them. They were never just a number. I have read very moving accounts of doctors and hospitals who take a minute to hold their patient's hand or look them in the eye for a minute before they intubate them. This enables them to see the humanity in every person that they treat. And we are trying to do this in our own way at CSAIR. We have made sure that no one feels like just an illness or just a number. We're calling people who are sick, tending to those who have lost loved ones, and offering emotional and practical support to our older members. If you have any ideas on how to do this better, or if you know someone who needs more support, including yourself, please don't hesitate to let us know. Step 2, quarantine. The Torah says that the person sick with the disease shall dwell alone, that their dwelling shall be outside the camp. They must live outside the camp to protect others from infection and remain alone until the disease heals. They must go into quarantine. And the concept of quarantine is much older than I even realized. It goes back as much as the 18th century BCE in ancient Syria. In fact, it's even true in apes. In the 1960s, Jane Goodall observed how the chimpanzees fearfully quarantined their peers who showed sign of illness or of getting injured. Needing to separate sometimes is ingrained evolutionarily in us. But people who are quarantined inevitably feel lonely and isolated. This loneliness is true for all of us now due to social distancing, and even more true for those who are quarantined in their homes. As a shul community, we are making sure that people do not feel lonely through our Emunah small groups and through our Zoom programming. We're shopping and getting packages for those who are quarantined, or those who are elderly, or those who, for whatever reason, can't do it themselves. We are making sure everyone knows they are still and are always an integral part of our shul. Step 3, purification. Once the person can come back into the camp, they must make sacrifices to God as part of the purification process. And during this process, the priest applies blood of the sacrifice to the ear, to the thumb, and to the toe of the purified person. And I have always loved this verse. Stick with me for a minute and you'll see why. Purifying these areas of the body, I think, is symbolic of how we act in the world after going through such an intense illness. We use our ears to listen to God and to each other. We use our thumb and our hands to reach out to one another and help each other. And we use our feet to decide what path we want to go on now that we've been given a second chance. And that's a lot of the things this amazing community is doing. We listen to each other. We help each other. We reach out to each other. We are all figuring out what path we should take next as we continue through this difficult period. And in our best moments, we look towards the future of what will happen afterwards when this pandemic subsides. On a personal note, I have very much been living these 3 stages these past 2 weeks. Matan is one of the 271,000 people in New York diagnosed with the coronavirus, which means very likely that Maya and I have it as well. We have been unbelievably lucky, and Matan had very minor symptoms and is feeling back to himself, and Maya and I are healthy and well. We were in quarantine until this morning, and I can honestly say I have never been happier to throw out garbage, do recycling, and have clean clothes, and breathe a little bit of fresh air than I was when I left my apartment this morning. And I'm already thinking about how this has and will change me and us. We're looking into donating plasma to help with an experimental cure. We're thinking about how much more easily we will be able to do errands for others without fear for our own safety. And I'm feeling immense, immense gratitude to God for Matan's health, to our amazing doctor who guided us, and to the staff, family, and lay leaders who have offered to help us. And I know I am not alone. We have many people in our community who have had COVID-19 and recovered, thank God. And we have some in our community who are still sick and struggling, and we send them all of our love and support. But many don't know how to talk about it or are afraid they will be stigmatized if they do reach out. So I'd like to ask us to strive to create a safe space for those who have been diagnosed so they feel comfortable sharing their journeys. Let's continue taking care of each other. Let's call each other, buy each other food, find joy seeing each other over Zoom, and make sure we all feel comfortable sharing our stories of what this pandemic has been like for each of us.
We're going to change gears a bit. Also, I'll just share on behalf of everyone who's on this Zoom and everyone who knows you, Rabbi Greenberg, how happy and relieved we are that everyone in your family is okay. And we're going to turn to Lecha Dodi now, a few paragraphs of the Lecha Dodi with a melody that is very future thinking and very hopeful sounding. The words it was written for, Lashana Haba Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem. So hopefully next year in full health, next year out of doors. And again, as always, please, I want to see you singing along. I'm going to switch mine to gallery view so I can see all your faces, and join me, please. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad v'shemo tiferet v'lithila lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha hi mekor haberacha mirosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hanai nai 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 lai 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 hanai nai 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 lai lai nai lai 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 nai 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 lai 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 nai nai lai 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 nai 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 Bo'i v'shalom materet bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula bo'i chala lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.
Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov. Thank you, Cantor Stevens, for both of the songs. And also Rabbi Greenberg for this really gorgeous and really important and honest Torah. So now for something a little different, something completely different. Ben Fried with some shul trivia. He'll explain how it works.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Ben Fried, and welcome to our first edition of CSAIR Shul Trivia, where it's all made up and the points don't matter, just like the appearance of my facial hair during the Omer. So we are going to be having some fun together and learning a little bit more about our synagogue. This is a very low-tech and low-stakes trivia game. So we're not going to try to download any fancy apps or do any crazy cahoots or anything. Once I ask a question, if you know the answer, just start waving your hands around. And when I see someone waving their hands, then we'll spotlight you. And there aren't any points and it's not competitive. So if you don't get a chance this time, there will be other chances to answer some questions and to be a part of this as well. So all of these questions are just for starters. What we also want to encourage you is if you have some great trivia questions, whether it's about the shul or about any other subject of Jewish interest, let us know if maybe you want to run CSAIR trivia during a future Friday Night Live. So our first question of the evening is, what year was CS, the Conservative Synagogue of Riverdale, founded? Not the merger year, but what year was the Conservative Synagogue of Riverdale founded? If you know the answer, start waving your hands. I'll be looking through on gallery view. I'm not seeing any hands waving. Oh, wait, I see one. Oh, wait, where'd she go? There you are, wait. We have a new spotlight and we'll unmute you. Wait, how do I unmute you? All right, go ahead, show, oh, wait. Someone muted you back. Go ahead, Shoshi, what's the answer?
I'm going to say 1964.
1964. So close, so close. But exactly 10 years off in one direction or the other. Let's see if someone else can give us the answer. Who wants to guess? Start waving your hands. Oh, wait, we have Susan Schwartz. Here she comes, here she comes. We're going to spotlight her. And
1954.
1954. Susan's the winner of question number 1. You get the leftover gefilte fish that my family still has from Seder. So I'll get your address online or on the directory. Okay. Next question coming right up. On the CSAIR Bima, there are a number of chairs. How many chairs specifically are there on the CSAIR Bima? Who's gonna wave their hands? Oh, wait, I see the Linden household. One sec.
It's 5. Good.
All right, how many?
I think it's 5.
It is 5. 5 is the correct answer. Your prize is, if you go outside at exactly 7 p.m. tonight, everyone will applaud for you. Congratulations. All righty, our next question. Our next question is, on what page, when you attend CSAIR, we use the Sim Shalom Siddur, and the last thing that we sing at every Shabbat service is Adon Olam. What page can Adon Olam be found on in the Sim Shalom Siddur? Start waving your hands if you know the answer. Oh, wait, we have someone who knows the answer. She's very excited about it. Everyone meet my mother.
Page 187.
That is correct. Page 187 is the right answer. Mom, your prize is 5 rolls of toilet paper. Mazel tov. You can find them in the downstairs bathroom. Alrighty. We have one last question we are going to do for tonight. One last great trivia question. CSAIR, the sanctuary was designed by a famous architect, a well-known architect who designed many synagogue sanctuaries. Does anyone know the name of this architect? Oh, I see we have an answer. 1 second. I'm going to spotlight you, and then we're going to unmute you, Mitchell. Are you already unmuted? No, wait, sorry, 1 second. All right. Oh, go ahead. Give us the answer.
Obviously, it could only have been one person. Barry Katz.
Barry Katz, close. He's well known for many things, but architectural ability is not one of them.
Percival Goodman.
That is the correct answer. Percival Goodman. Mitch, you win our last prize of the evening, which is an aliyah when we get back into the building. So you'll be able to claim your prize from one of our amazing gabbis. Let them know that you get an aliyah courtesy of winning CSAIR trivia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for playing. This has been round 1 of CSAIR trivia. There will be more trivia going forward. If you have ideas for questions, shoot me an email, Ben, period, Freed, Freed, 18 @gmail.com, or email Katie or Rabbi Katz, and you can be a part of our Friday Night Live experience.
That was great. Thank you, Ben. And Ben is new to CSAIR, and he knew all those answers. That was pretty impressive. So now we're going to call on Ben Pearlstein, who is going to sing a beautiful melody preparing us for the counting of the Omer. And, the counting of the Omer is an opportunity to count from Pesach to Shavuot, but it's also a chance to just take a few minutes to think about today. One of the things I've been reading, I read about how to kind of get through a time like this is to think about just this moment, just today. And Sfirat Omer is saying that every day is very important. So take a minute to think about this day as Ben sings a song, and then I will tell you what day of the Omer it is right now, and I'll tell you what day of the Omer it will be tonight after sunset.
L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Brichu U'Shchintei Hineni Muchan U'Mezuman Lekayem Mitzvat Shel Sfirat HaOmer Shel Sfirat HaOmer Shel Sfirat HaOmer Shel Sfirat HaOmer Sheva Shabbatot Temimot Tihena Sheva Shabbatot Temimot Tihena shenichu kuchabrichu ushrinte hineni muchanu mezumah lekayem mitzvat shel sfirat haomer shel sfirat haomer.
Today is the 15th day of the Omer, and tonight after 3 stars, you can figure out that it's going to be one more day of the Omer. So I hope that this day was a full day and a day in which you had something that you were grateful for. Maybe it was a day that you struggled in some way, and hopefully tomorrow is going to be a better day. We're about to do prayers for healing, mishaberach, for people who are sick or in need of healing. You can feel free to put your person's name in Hebrew or English in the chat, just to kind of do something, to be active. I also have the names of all of the people on our mishaberach list here as I do the prayer, and I'm going to be thinking about all of them. I'm going to say the prayer. I'm going to do it in English, and then I'm going to do it in Hebrew. And then, there's going to be a pause in each one where you can fill in the name, say the name of the person that you're praying for healing for. Now, there's a lot of people that we're all praying for right now. May God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all of our loved ones. May the Holy One in mercy strengthen them and heal them soon, body and soul, together with all those who suffer illness. Grant strength to those who support them. And let us say Amen. Yishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sar Rivka Rachel V'Leah Yivarech V'Yarpei et Kol HaCholim. Kadosh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Aleim Lachzikam L'Rapotam V'Yishlach Lahem Mehera Ufla Shlema L'Chol Evreihem V'Gidehem B'Toch Shar Cholei Yisrael Fuat HaNefesh Fuat HaGuf V'Tein Chizuk L'Kol HaOskim B'Tzarchehem Hashta Bagala U'Izman Kariv V'Nomar Amen.
Amen.
So we've been reciting a prayer in place of Kaddish, a substitute for the Kaddish prayer, while we're not together in a minyan. We certainly do want to take some time to remember all the people that we've lost. Some of you are observing a Yortzeit this week. Some of you are saying Kaddish and in the year of mourning. So I invite you to join along. And I think that increasingly, I think we all have people in our circles that we know who have passed away in the past few weeks, and so whether from coronavirus or something else. So if you feel comfortable, you're also welcome to recite either part or all of this meditation with us. I'm going to ask Mason to put the words up on the screen. Mason, if you could just go to the top for a second. Yeah, I just want to read it in English just so we have a sense of what it is that we're saying. God of all spirits, in whose hands rest the souls of the living and the dead, graciously and mercifully accept our prayers on behalf of our loved ones, and remember all of the good and kind things that they did in this world. Grant them restful peace in the upper world, which is completely good. Yikadal v'yikadash, may God's great name be sanctified and glorified. L'seh shalom, may God, who makes peace in thy heavens, make peace for us and for all Israel and for all who live in earth. V'yimru, and let us say Amen. And now, Mason or Ben, if you could unmute everybody. I know it's going to sound a little bit messy, but I just love hearing everybody's voices. So if you recite it slow enough, it actually can sound like we're doing it together. So please join with me. You can either do the meditation part at the end, or you can do the last 6 lines, which are the quotations from Kaddish. El Elohei Haruchot Asher Biada Hachot Metim Hayom Chesed Uvarachamim Ol Tfilatenu Zecher Uzachorna Ol Chesed V'Atov Sha'asu Ba'olam Hazeh
אין
Menucha
להם מנוחה נכונה
Olam Ha'elyon
בעולם העליון,
Am
עולם
Shkulot
שכולו טוב,
Dal V'Yitkadash Ba
ושניר רבה,
Shalom
שלום
Bimrama
במרומה,
Yad
עשה שלום,
Aleinu
עלינו ועל כל
Israel
ישראל,
Ko Yisrael
בית הבל,
Amen.
אמן.
So now Ben is going to take us home, and he's going to sing a little bit, and then afterwards we're going to try something new. We're going to try a virtual kiddush. So this kiddush is sponsored by me. So imagine enjoying the kiddush food of your choice. And basically the way it's going to work is, the official program is going to be over once Ben is done singing. And then we're just going to leave it open for anybody who wants to talk for 15 minutes and schmooze. And the way it's going to work is we're going to mute everybody, but then you can choose to unmute yourself and speak if you want to speak. And it actually can work. If we all unmute ourselves at once and start talking, it's not going to work. But if you kind of take your turn and wait for your moment, and I'll help manage that process. So Ben, please take us home. I want to thank everybody who participated in our program tonight. I want to thank Cantor Stevens and Rabbi Greenberg and Ben Fried and Ben Pearlstein, and behind the scenes, Mason, who was kind of running everything. And I want to thank all of you. It's really just so wonderful to head into Shabbat seeing everybody's faces in their own homes. And please, I hope that you'll join us with the programming during the week. Check the email for all the details. Take us home, Ben.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. If you need to go, of course you can go, but stick around. I want to welcome Tilda Land.